What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. Now in today's video we're taking a look at some secret weapon perks. These are hidden deep in the database and aren't currently on any available weapons. So in this video today we're going to take a look at everything we know about them and when we're likely to see them, if at all, inside Destiny 2. Now if you enjoyed the video be sure to leave a comment and rating down below and remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. Little over 80% of the viewers on the channel aren't currently subscribed, so be sure to hit that red button and ring that bell to ensure you don't miss an update. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Now with Season 15 merely a few weeks away and with the showcase launching on the 24th of August, we are soon to be finding out more about the weapons and armor that will become available in the up and coming season. Now throughout the development process in terms of introducing new weapons and perks, we often see remnants of them hidden in the database that either are then later added or evolved to become different perks and traits altogether. In this video today we're identifying 6 perks that are currently in the database but aren't applied to any weapons currently in the game. Now some of these have been in the database for quite some time, while some are very new. So we're going to take a look at them and discuss everything we know about them and whether we're likely to see them in the game at all. Now one of the first perks we're going to take a look at is called High Noon. Now this is a legendary trait and this reads readying the weapon grants a brief period of bonus precision damage. And there aren't currently any perks that simply increase your weapon damage for readying the weapon, and with the name of High Moon it has a very Tex Mechanica theme and feel to it. Now this particular perk was introduced way back in Season 4 back in 2018, but it was modified this year. Now since this was modified we have had Dead Man's Tale added to the game, and whilst readying the weapon doesn't increase your precision damage, chaining precision hits will increase and provide bonus damage and quicken your reload speed too. So whilst High Noon isn't in the game currently, specifically by name, it's entirely possible that High Noon was the original version of Cranial Spike, which is the main exotic intrinsic perk on the Dead Man's Tale. But with there being similarities between those two perks, it is entirely possible that this could be a new perk for a different weapon altogether. There aren't too many Tex Mechanica weapons that are to be reprised in Destiny 2, with First Curse being the only hand cannon still left from that weapon foundry. Would you like to see the First Curse return with High Noon applied to it? Or is this simply an evolved version of the Cranial Spike perk on the Dead Man's Tale? Be sure to let me know your thoughts guys down in the comment section below. Now the next legendary trait we're going to take a look at is one called Hailstorm. Now this is where kills increase the weapon's damage and begin to steadily reload the magazine from reserves until you stop firing. Now when reading that legendary trait it has a lot of similarities to the Subsistence perk. Now Subsistence is where defeating targets partially reload the magazine from reserves, and that was introduced in Season 6, the same season that the Hailstorm legendary trait was added to the database too. Now the Hailstorm perk appears to be a combination of Rampage and Subsistence combined together, making it a very strong legendary trait indeed. Now was the trait too strong and was replaced with Subsistence back in Season 6? Or could we see Hailstorm applied to another weapon upon an upcoming season? We could find out in the next few weeks, but as always guys, be sure to let me know your thoughts on this one down in the comments below. Now next up we have the Fistfuls of Bullets, another legendary trait, and this is where melee kills overload the magazine to double its capacity. Now this legendary trait appears to be a combination of Grave Robber and Overflow combined together. Now Grave Robber is where it partially reloads the magazine due to a melee kill, and Overflow allows you to double your weapon's ammo capacity for running over special or heavy ammo. Now the Fistfuls of Bullets was introduced back in Season 4 and hasn't been applied to any weapon or catalyst ever since. Now this could be due to being replaced with other perks or because the perk itself was too potent and powerful at the time it was created. Now this legendary trait is still in the database and was modified earlier this year, so we could see it reprised and added to a new weapon, or even added as part of a weapon catalyst in a later season. Now over on LightGG, one of the reviews does state they would love to see this added to the Monte Carlo for the catalyst, and that seems to be a very fitting fit for this legendary trait and the perks it provides. Would you like to see this added to the Monte Carlo as a catalyst, or would you like to see it added to a new weapon entirely? It's certainly a powerful perk, but be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now next up we have a legendary trait called Once More, and this is where reloading increases the weapon's damage if you hit at least half of the rounds of the magazine but fail to kill anything. Now there aren't too many perks inside Destiny 2 that reward you for not really killing any combatants, especially one that provides additional weapon damage. Now this sounds like a combination of either Kill Clip and Glass Half Full, both merged together. Now this was introduced once again back in Season 6 and was modified earlier this year. Now as we said earlier in the video, most of the weapon damage dealing perks require you to defeat a combatant. This includes things like Rampage and Kill Clip. However, we have things like Redirection and One for All, where hitting separate targets will increase your damage for moderate durations. Now, it's entirely possible that Redirection and One for All are evolved versions of the Once More legendary trait. Now, both Redirection and One for All require you to hit multiple targets without defeating them, and both of them provide increases to your weapon damage and don't require you to kill anything to get that extra damage buff. So with that being said, I feel it's unlikely we'll see Once More added to any new weapons moving forward, as we have very similar perks that have been evolved from it and added to weapons ever since. But with that being said, would you like to see Once More added to the game? And if so, would you like to see it added to an entirely new weapon or added to an existing one as part of a weapons catalyst? Be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, the penultimate perk we're talking about today is called Flourish. Now, this legendary trait is where defeating combatants with grenade abilities will increase your weapon's damage. Now, this legendary trait was actually added back in Season 13 and was once again modified since then earlier this year. And much like some of the other legendary traits we've covered in this video so far, the Flourish perk seems to have evolved into Adrenaline Junkie. Now, Adrenaline Junkie was added earlier this year in Season 14, and this is where grenade final blows grant bonus damage and handling for a moderate duration. Now, the Adrenaline Junkie perk is available on the Chroma Rush, Farewell, Grid Skipper and the Shattered Cipher Override weapons, all of which were introduced this season. Now, with the addition of those brand new weapons, and also the addition of Adrenaline Junkie, it's highly unlikely that Flourish will find its time in the spotlight upon a future season, as the perk is pretty much like for like of the Adrenaline Junkie perk. With that being said, would you like to see it added to the game, and more specifically, would you like to see it added as an exotic weapon catalyst? Now, with Flourish still being in a database, anything is possible at this point. But as always guys, be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Now, the final legendary trait we're going to talk about doesn't in fact have a name. It's currently known as an unnamed item, and the benefits of it are entirely classified inside the database. Now, in terms of what we do know, we do at least have a legendary trait icon, and we do know this was introduced back in Season 5, and once again, like all of the legendary traits included in this video, was actually modified earlier this year. Now, due to the item being classified, as I said, we aren't too sure exactly what this weapon does, but we get an idea just by looking at the legendary trait icon. There aren't too many icons that actually have human silhouettes inside them, with one of the only other perks to do that being known as Firing Line. Now, Firing Line is where the weapon deals increased damage when near 2 or more allies. Now, just by looking at the legendary trait, we can see whatever the benefits of this potential legendary trait is, we are required to be near at least 2 or more allies for that benefit to take place. Now, it's highly unusual for a legendary trait to be classified if it isn't going to be added to the game at a later date. But as we said earlier, this was added back in Season 5 and has been in the database for quite some time. But with that in mind, what do you think this potential unnamed item could do? I'll be interested to see your thoughts and ideas down in the comment section below. So there we have it, a quick look at 6 secret weapon perks that are currently inside the database but aren't currently in the game. Now, if you have enjoyed the video, be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for more Destiny 2 content. And as always guys, if you want to keep up to date with everything to do with Destiny 2, be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always guys, and I will catch you all again very soon.